Welcome back to Between Views. In our last episode, Todd Cole shared his incredible near-fatal experience with an eastern brown snake and the profound impact it had on his perspective. Today, we shift gears to another powerful part of his life, his passion for surfing and his incredible community-building project, the Shaper Shed. After his life-changing encounter, Todd left his surfboard job and embarked on a mission to share the mindfulness and joy of shaping surfboards with youth, helping them to disconnect and find connection. Get ready to be inspired by how the ocean, creativity and community are shaping Todd's renewed view on life. Let's dive back in with Todd.
Alright, so at the very beginning of your snake bite story, you mentioned that Megan got you into shaping surfboards.
Yeah.
And that was the second thing that I asked you to come along today and talk about, because it's a pretty sweet project, especially if you're living along the coast of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And something that you and I both share as a passion is the ocean and surfing and just that love of the coast and everything that is associated with it. I think it's one of the big things that we bond over and talk about often. And your shaping job led you said that it was all encompassing and it consumed you.
Yeah.
And from what I know now, it's become more than just a job for you, and it's turned into an awesome project that's actually going to be helping people.
Yes, yeah. So kind of turned into a business because after the snake bite, I kind of left the surfboard job because not many people might know this, but there's not a lot of money in surfboards. Like, you're pretty much just working because you love it, and that's pretty much everyone in the industry. You do it because you love it. But the job I worked, I pretty much learnt every facet of how surfboards are made, like hand shaping, how the robots are used, because almost 90% of surfboards nowadays are made off a robot, like a CNC machine. They literally just make a file using a program and bang it into the computer, chuck the blank in and it cuts it. And then there's about 10 minutes of actual shaping, which people now call scrubbing instead of shaping. You just kind of scrub any of the robot marks out. So I learned how to do all that, how to fiberglass a board, sand them, and just everything. You're probably the same. You love surfboards, you love the look of them. I was just hooked. I couldn't get enough of it. So after I left that job, I was just trying to think, like, how can I get back to surfboards but also still do outdoor education at the same time? And I was working a camp in Victoria, and it was a bit of a out there camp. Like, instead of just doing the normal hiking and canoeing and all that, they were doing things like jiu-jitsu, like teaching how to play instruments. They were even doing like golf, and there was heaps of stuff going on. And one of them was surfing. And I said to them, I was like, what would you guys think if you could make a surfboard? Like, would you want to do like a camp or a program like that? And everyone I said to was like, yeah, that's amazing. Like, that'd be one of the best things ever. And I was like, well, let's try and figure out a way to do that. So eventually called around a lot of people, and I eventually got my hands on what was like an old surfboard manufacturing shed, which was from my mate who I used to work with. He was kind of handed it over to me. I took over the lease. And then from that, I created my own business called the Shaper Shed. And the idea was to run these workshops in kind of small groups for kids to kind of learn how shaping a surfboard is. And I think the beautiful part about shaping a surfboard is the mindfulness. It's just you, the tools, and the surfboard blank. And I find for kids in this day and age, that's kind of what they need, because they're so hooked into their phones, the computer, and all this social media stuff, that they can get in the bay and they can just think about this one thing. And it's quite relaxing. It's pretty much like sculpting when you're making a surfboard. You're just cutting bits of foam to make the shape you want. So it's this beautiful artistic thing that you put your whole body into. It almost feels like a bit of a dance because you're going around the board, you're cutting this foam. And I just wanted to share that feeling with other people. So I've only been doing the business for just under a year now, and I've had one successful program. And it was with the Resilience kids in Tweed Heads. It was they had the money left over from, there's big floods a couple of years ago in Lismore and around that area. So the government gave a bit of money to kind of give to these foundations so they could spend it to kind of get stuff for the kids to do. So they found me and got 6 kids. There was 4 girls and 2 boys, and they were aged between like 13 to 16. Some of them were frothers, like they surf. Some of them were very new to surfing. And they wanted it centered around kind of like mindfulness. So they came into the shed. We gave them the rundown, gave them their blanks. They picked what they wanted to shape, and then away we went. And it was, I had these doubts in my mind that, people wouldn't have kind of bought into it, but the kids just loved it. And like, we'll be cooking lunch for them and it'd be time to give them lunch and they just wouldn't want to leave the bay. Like, they were just having so much fun. The only problem we faced was getting them to stop, like, because they just kept cutting foam. Like, they just kept shaping. They just wanted to keep going with their board. Yeah. And the way the shaper shed's set up, there's 3 shaping bays side by side to each other, and they're all kind of connected in this one big room. So you can like flow in and out of these rooms. You can kind of see what everyone's doing, and the kids can all be there at once, so they can all see what everyone else is doing and like bounce ideas off each other or like learn from each other. And it was just a truly beautiful thing to see. And I remember after the first day, packed up, the kids had left, and I had to go to footy training. And as I was driving to footy training, I was almost in tears of just joy, of just being like, I can't believe this is something I've helped create. So it's something I'm going to pursue, and I need to try and get my name out there more and get more schools or youth groups involved. I think for me, the youth group route, like what we had before, is the way to go, because those kids, it was all government funded, so they didn't pay a single cent. So they just got a free surfboard that they made themselves. They got to customise, put their artworks and stuff on it. And that made it so much better. It's like, you're not costing anyone out of pocket, apart from the government, which, who gives a damn?
The things that are coming up for me while you speak about it is just how you felt like you loved something so much that you naturally wanted to find a way to share it.
Yeah.
And then the feeling of sharing that love and showing people what there is to love about that. It's something I can definitely relate to. I feel like straight away gardening comes up for me, or even AI. I feel like both of those things fascinate me to the point of just making me feel calm and invested. And there's so much good you can do and skills you can learn just by being involved, like for example with gardening. And it's not a place you'd think you'd learn a lot of stuff, but you just being in there, being mindful, opening that space for long periods of attention spent on one thing is really beneficial for our spirit. And I think that there's more to it for you, like in the future. Like, I feel like that's a really great idea for our coastline. And the reason that I think it's so cool is because the surfing is like an individual sport.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of the time. And it's one thing that kind of chips me a little bit about it. And why I love my local area so much is because a lot of people there have let go of the idea of it's all about me getting this wave. It's starting to become more of like a fun thing where the person who has the most fun is actually the winner at surfing. Yeah,
that's the best surfer, the one having the most fun, the one hooting and hollering.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, you start to do it more as a group, and it's kind of brought that love and joy of surfing up to an even higher level for me. And yeah, it's nice that you've created a way where it's actually like a team thing. You're building something to keep together, learning alongside each other, just being there, kind of like looking at each other's shaping. And Yeah, it's really special.
And discussing new ideas about it. Well, that's the thing. Like you say, surfing. I still love to surf by myself, and I do have some really nice moments by myself. But it's so much better when you're with your mates, and like you kook a wave, or you go over the falls and get absolutely smoked, and then you pop your head up, and your mates are there laughing at you or checking if you're all right.
Yeah,
and it's just a beautiful thing. Like I was telling you the other day, like on days when there's like a really big swell and you get out the back and you look around, and there might be people you've never met, but you know like what they've had to go through to get out the back. They've had to duck dive some monster waves, and through that shared experience you like come closer and you talk to everyone and you get to know everyone, and then you're this one big unit together, like this one big organism. Because when like a big set comes, you hear someone whistle and you'll be like, all right, there's a big set coming, and the whole crowd moves as like a big mass to get to the safe spot, or someone will line up for the big set. It's really, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and it's another cool thing is like it can encourage you to go beyond your limits too, because when a big one does come, if you sat there on your own, you might not go, but when you've got 20 eyes on you going, calling out to you, like cheering you on, it's kind of hard not to give it a full crack and have a go. And a lot of the time you make it. Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
But at least there's 20 of people there who could help you out if it came off bad.
Yeah. or like sometimes when you don't make it, you go missing for like 20 minutes, and then you paddle back out the back and you have to tell everyone like you just went through hell because you just got absolutely battered.
That's
like
right.
Your eyes are all bloodshot and you're just cooked.
You got no breath left.
Yeah.
What does the ocean surfing and shaping do for you? Why is it so important to you?
The ocean does almost everything for me. It's for me, I've always been in the ocean, like growing up, even just swimming and body surfing. It's just, to me, it's like this never-ending playground. And like, I think what I love about the fact that the conditions change all the time is you go there and it's something new every single time. It's never the waves. Sometimes they might break the same on a good day, but it's always different with the wind, the tides, and it's just this, you go there and you have a look and you assess it and you're like, all right, this is what it is today, and you make the most of it, and it's just a beautiful thing. And just, it's the one time I feel properly like weightless, and I've talked to you about this before, like when I go body surfing, I like to paddle out where the waves aren't breaking and just sit there and like feel the swell roll in and kind of like roll over my body and just float there, and it's just this feeling that I can never experience anywhere. And I try and get that feeling of weightlessness when I do other things. Like when we go skiing, you and I try and find like the biggest thing that looks like a wave, like a big steep bank, so we can kind of hit it like it's a wave.
That's right.
And feels like you're doing a nice...
Spray some snow like it's sea foam.
Yeah. Spraying the snow, like chucking buckets of snow everywhere. To try and get that weightless feeling. And that's why I always return to the ocean, because it's like, it's very hard to find something that replaces that. And I think we're very fortunate as Australians to just be so close to the ocean. It's like on tap. You just go there and it's just a great time.
That's right. And what about shaping?
Shaping for me, like I said, it's like a mindfulness thing. It's something I can get lost in. I can kind of disconnect from day-to-day life and just relax. And it's the closest thing to maybe surfing. It's probably the closest thing to mind surfing. You know when you go to the beach and you watch the waves and you pretend you're surfing them? It's the closest thing to that when not actually being at the beach, because you're making the surfboard and you're envisioning how the water's going to run over it or how you're going to ride it. Or like, the funnest thing is like shaping a board for a mate. You know, like imagining them ripping on it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what shaping is, and that's why I love it, and that's why probably all shapers do love it. And kind of, you can survive a couple of days not surfing if you've got a busy day of like shaping and making boards, because you're kind of scratching that itch a little bit by working on the boards. Yeah,
true. And what does it feel like what's the difference between surfing on a board that you shaped versus one that you just bought?
It's an awesome feeling. I remember the the very first board I made, it was like a 511, like a swallowtail thruster board, which is like a 3-fin board. And the first moment I put it in the water, I just thought it was going to just like combust. Because I was like, oh, I've made it. It's going to be dodgy. As soon as I put it in the water, it's just going to fill with water and leak, and the foam's going to get busted up. And I remember, because of swallowtails, it's kind of like a fishtail. One of the tails is a little bit off. Like, it wasn't fully symmetrical. So it was a bit busted up. And I was like, oh, it's not going to surf very well. But I took it out for its first surf, and I was like, this is the best surfboard I've ever ridden. Like, it was so good. And it was just... like, I remember feeling like the rails, like the side of the surfboard being like, man, it's off. Like, none of it's symmetrical. It's super whack. But then I'm like, it just rips. And I think that's the feeling. Like, I take these boards out that I make, and it's just awesome. And same, like, I give it to my mates, and they're like, this is just the funnest thing ever. And there's no limit to what you can make when you make your own surfboards. Like, I made like a 23-inch wide surfboard a couple months back. And I started riding it standing up, and I'm like, this thing just is terrible. And then I was like, I'm going to try it on my knees. And then I rode it on my knees, and it was like the best thing I've ever ridden. Like, it would turn like a shortboard, and it just, I was like, oh, well, maybe I've just made a knee board.
Yeah, by accident.
Yeah. And now I go out and I ride on my knees, and my mates are like, can you not bring that knee board? You're like cramping our style. Can you stop? Can you stop kneeboarding? I'm like, no, I'm a kneeboarder now, man. I can't not do it. But yeah, and it's beautiful. I think kneeboarding, why I've liked it so much, is like it's the in-between of surfing and body surfing, because body surfing is so beautiful because you're like in the wave, whereas kneeboarding, you're that much closer as well. So
yeah, on a kneeboard, people can take steep drops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of the kneeboarders at my local spot. They take some steep drops, and they look so good in the pocket because they're just right in it.
Yeah.
Because they're low center of gravity.
It's so sick. Like you just guaranteed. It's like body surfing. You're guaranteed to get in the pit. Like
yeah,
it's so fun.
Yeah, which is like, I think a lot of people when picking their craft, they're not thinking about barrel percentages.
No.
They're thinking about looking cool, I reckon.
Yeah.
But it's funny, you can actually get a lot more barrels on more alternate crafts.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
The most barrel finding thing I've ever ridden on is the Booger Bullet. I don't know if I've shown you that Owen makes. And those things are like, consistently you'll get a barrel nearly every time because you're laying down on this speedy little wooden craft, you know.
Yeah.
And that feeling feels better than getting one barrel in a session for sure, even though you don't look cool.
Yeah. But well, that's the thing with those things. It gives you that little bit of drag where it like can hold you into the wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get past that feeling of not trying to look cool,
yeah,
it's freeing.
That's right.
Having the most fun.
Yeah, going out there to have fun makes it a better experience for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I have a funny story of, like, my best mate always surfed with Tiber. We went surfing at Burley, and there was all these like hammerhead sharks. So him being a bit of a kook, he took his surfboard out with flippers on and a snorkel. So he's paddling out the back, and he's like, in between sets, he's like looking under the water at the hammerhead sharks with his snorkel, with his flippers on. And then a wave would come, and he'd pop up wearing the flippers. So he's just like an absolute kook, just riding this wave with a snorkel on and flippers. Yeah. But it's like, he would have had the best day of his entire life.
That's right, yeah. Double the fun.
Yeah.
Where can people find you if they want to get a board made or reach out about signing kids up for the project?
You can go on my website, which is theshapersshed.com, or you can go on my Instagram, which is @theshapersshed, and it's got all my contact info. You can just give me a call or email me, or you can just have a look at some of the programs on the website and go from there.
Nice. And what's the other name for your shaping shed?
Oh, well, there's two processes of building a surfboard. There's the shaping, and then there's the fiberglassing, which involves a lot of resin, and it's quite messy. And I have a glassing room, which I call it the fume tomb, because the fumes are quite toxic, and if you're not wearing a respirator, you might take your mask off and have a couple breaths of the fumes, and you feel a little bit lightheaded, which can be fun. But Yeah, so I call it the fume tomb. And that's kind of a long-running joke from when I used to work my old surfboard job. There'd be a lot of us fiberglassing boards at one time in the room, and we'd call that the fume tomb as well. So I've kind of
carried it on
the
tradition.
Yeah, because it's a funny name.
It is. I like the sticker too.
Yeah.
Let's move into the final part of the podcast. These can be short or long answers. Up to you how you want to answer them. But they're always about philosophy, my general curiosities in life, and just seeing if there's something that you know that I've never heard of before. So we'll roll through them and see what we can learn. And then we're going to connect you to the next guest and the last as well. So first one, books, people, coaches, mentors, info, or moments, or whatever it may be that inspired you in your journey in life so far.
I've had, you say books and mentors, what you're saying? Yeah.
Anything, really.
Anything. I've had quite a lot of good mentors. One, with back to the surfing thing, I had a mentor named Adam who taught me everything about surfboards, and I would call him Sensei as a bit of a joke. But just having someone that provides you feedback, and I'm a big believer in tell me how it is. Like, don't sugarcoat the feedback. If I've done something wrong, tell me how it is, because I just want to be better, and I'm not going to be upset. So that's what I found really good with him. Like, if I butchered something, he was like, yeah, you've cooked it, but you can fix it, or you can start again and do it this way. And then a big book that's probably I've liked a lot, which is, funny enough, it's also got to do with surfing, is Breath by Tim Winton. It's either Breath or Breathe, it's pronounced. But I haven't read it in a while, but there's a paragraph in the book where he describes men surfing. You might be familiar with it. And the way he describes it, it's like men are so always trying to be masculine and like protect themselves and seem like something they aren't and not show their emotions. But as soon as they get into the surf, they're like in these wetsuits, all like tight, looking funny, and like dancing on water. And it's kind of like this polar opposite of what a man, like a stereotypical man's meant to be. Like, it's not, there's no big machismo kind of deal. It's like you're literally dancing on water, which seems like this divine, almost like feminine thing. Like, we've talked about how the ocean, to me especially, I feel like the ocean is a very feminine spirit, and I think that's why a lot of men kind of get pulled towards it, because it gives him that kind of, feels that kind of void for them sometimes. And that excerpt in that part of the book really stuck with me, because it's like, it's kind of a way to let your guard down and you be free, and yeah, you can express yourself in a way that you might not express yourself when you're in land, because there's this whole new medium to use it through.
Yeah. When you're surfing, how do you express yourself while you're surfing? The context of that question is, my most expressive surfing self is when I'm riding my girlfriend's pink foamy and I'm doing... it's kind of like a sexy lay back on the ride.
Yeah.
With like one leg stretched out and one leg up. And I just lay back and just like look real sexy on this pink board, and that's it.
Just pinging down the line, yeah.
That's my favourite. And I've even gone now to the point of, like, I found out it's actually quite, when you're down that low, it's quite a mobile position. And if you get it just right with your elbow and your arm on the rail, you can actually do some turns. So now I'm doing these like mini re-entry things laying like that.
Just deleting the lip, just smacking it.
It's my favourite way, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, that's good fun. I love doing that. My favourite way, it depends on how I'm feeling, because some days I just want to go there and like almost try and like overpower the wave and just hack into it as much as I can. But then there's other days where it's like that. I just want to go straight and I just want to relax and kind of let it take me and have that feeling of, being weightless. And it's my same way, but my favourite part of surfing is actually like duck diving.
You're the only one.
My favourite part of surfing, and I feel just like in another world, when I duck dive, I always have my eyes open and I watch the wave like curl over me, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like, it's the same thing with body surfing. I just like diving under the waves and then coming back out, like almost like feeling like you're a dolphin or something.
Yeah, because when you duck dive, if it's clear waters,
It's beautiful.
you can kind of put yourself just below where it's hectic and be so safe.
Yeah.
Like, you can watch the biggest wave come, but if you can get just to deep enough and avoid the wash underneath the water, that's a safe zone. It's like, instead of taking you that way, it's taking you back out and up.
Yes, yeah.
It's really amazing to watch, and like kind of a safe thing to do actually if you're trying to duck dive safely, to open your eyes under and have a look.
It is, yeah. Do you open your eyes when you go under, or
Usually,
yeah, unless it's like murky.
unless it's no good water and there's no point. But on nice clear days, definitely. What's worth investing in these days?
I don't really invest much money-wise because, I don't have a lot of it. But I think investing in people is probably the main thing. Being around people that bring you up, people that you admire. And that's kind of been like, I guess that's everyone's life lesson, but you meet people that you don't mesh with, but you meet people that you just feel like you can go on this whole beautiful new journey of just becoming a better person. And I think that is finding those people, trying to keep them around and investing your time into them, because every good friendship, it's a give and take. Like, you need to give something to them because you're taking from them at the same time. And it's, just doing that. And it takes a lot of energy, especially when you become an adult. It's hard to keep friends. Like, you really need to put in that effort. So I think investing most of my energy and time into that is what I want to do and continue to do.
What's the best way to keep your friends?
Literally just give them a call. Like, if they, like, a lot of my really good mates live really far away from me, just give them a call. Or my favorite thing is actually, I call my mate and he won't pick up, and you leave like the most crooked voicemail ever. Like, you pretend to be someone else, or and that's just another way of just checking in. Because it's hard, especially living in Australia. It's so vast, and like, people move, and like, another city is multiple hours away. So there's a great distance.
I love those calls that you have with mates and the little things that you have with each one when you call them. Like, I've got one friend, and this goes way back from school, but like, the first thing we ask each other and answer honestly is, what are you wearing? And then we'll describe what we're wearing to one another before we start our chat.
That's naughty.
And me and him also finish conversations by saying, selling. And then the other one will go, you, which is linked to one of my good friends I travelled with once, and it's a whole other story. But, and I've got one mate who, when he calls me, he goes, who's this?
That's gold.
And asks me what I want. And I'm like, you've called me. Like, what? Bloody hell. And I love that kind of stuff, that little banter we do on calls.
That's gold.
What's something that amazes you?
That's a hard question. I get amazed by a lot of things, like just how fast everything in the world's kind of progressing. Like, you think about when our parents were born, things they didn't have that we now have that are just so commonplace. Like, we were talking about phones, how ridiculous they are. But outside of that world, I think nature amazes me. And just kind of like the connections you can have. Even just, you go for a walk and just, I don't know, it just almost doesn't seem real how beautiful some things can be. And it just, I know, I appreciate every time I get out on the walk. Like, we are so lucky, like the job we're doing, when we're skiing, we can see mountain ranges forever. And I'm just like, this is just,
What does nature do for you?
It calms me, it centers me, it brings me back to kind of who I want to be as a person. Yeah.
Are you using AI these days?
Nah, not really. Just for like probably not good stuff.
What do you use it for?
I ask it just silly questions. I don't really use it for anything probably beneficial, which I should. But I'm still at the point of like I got some designs made up for the Shaper Shed, and I was like, should I use AI or should I pay a graphic designer, like a human being? And I was like, I'm going to do the human. So I think I'm still at that stage of kind of want to go the human route for now, but I can see the use of AI, and I know it's going to be pretty prevalent. Yeah, I just, for now, I want to kind of not stay away from it, but wait a bit until it's, because I know it's being used in like schools, and I know in Victoria they passed a thing, I could be wrong, but all the lesson plans for schools now are going to be designed by AI, which that saves a lot of time for teachers. But then there's a bit of a discussion going on being like, well, if the AI can just make the lesson plan, why can't I as a parent just make a lesson plan and hand it over to my kid and save myself money on school fees?
Yeah.
I can see the use for it.
I like what you said about the human connection, and you would rather go down the human route first. Why is that important?
I think there's two reasons. It's obviously because I want to pay someone for their work and like something they've actually learnt to develop that skill, and then they're trying to transfer that to someone else. And I also think AI is at this point where it's still noticeable. I've seen people make like graphics with AI, and you can kind of tell a little bit that it's been made by.
Yeah.
I don't think it's at that point yet. Maybe if you're like an old fella, you can't tell the difference. Like there's the classic story of the grandma sending an image of like an AI video and thinking it's real, but it's for guys like us, you can still tell, and there's kind of like that uncanny valley feeling to it. So I think for now, while the humans are around, may as well use them.
Fair enough. What's something that I should have asked you but I didn't?
That's a tough one. I don't know.
The reason that I ask this is because I always find that we spend all this time talking about what we talk about, and then all of a sudden, like, I've missed some major part of your life or experience or something you've learned or know about. And I think it's a good way to learn new things about people you know.
Yeah, oh, that's a hard one. You could ask me my favourite colour, but that's all I really...
Oh yeah, what's your favourite colour?
Oh, it's too hard to tell.
It's a terrible answer.
There's just so many good ones.
Who are you when no one's watching?
I'd like to think that I'm who I am now. When I'm by myself, I spend a lot of time laughing at like jokes I tell myself. I talk to myself a lot, which I'm not sure if that's...
The fume tomb's having its effect then.
Yeah, there's all those fumes and chemicals finally getting to me.
At least you'll never be alone.
Exactly, yeah. I'm quite a quiet person though when I'm by myself. Like I really... When it's dead quiet, I find it just beautiful. I'm like, how good is this? So I enjoy my own time a lot. Sometimes too much. I can enjoy my own time. But yeah, I'd like to think I'm a pretty easygoing and always looking for a laugh. I think comedy and stuff like that is just kind of my go-to route. And you've talked to me a lot. I have a lot of trouble taking things serious, and you tell me something and I'll just spin it into something a bit far-fetched. Yeah.
No, that's good though. I'm like that as well. No, life can't be taken too seriously.
No, I can't. No, and you're better off for it if you just take everything as a bit of a joke.
Who's someone you'd recommend for Between Views after your experience, knowing what it's about now, and what would you ask them?
That's a very hard one. I don't know. I don't know who I would recommend.
What if it was you sat here and you were the host? Who would you have on your show? What would you ask him? Can be anyone.
I'd like to interview like famous authors or something. I don't know. It's a very, very hard one. I like Stephen King books. I maybe like to interview Stephen King and see what he's. He might be a hard one to get on the show though.
You never know.
I'm just fascinated about creative people and kind of where they get their, like what's the muse and what's the process of how they get there, and yeah, kind of people like that. So
So what inspires creative people?
yeah, what inspires creative people? Because it's just fascinating.
That'd be cool to get Stephen King on the show.
Yeah, if you can get him, it might be cost a bit.
The last guest question,
That's
asked to you by Derek Sivers, a independent thinker, author, writer, programmer, and global traveller originally from the US. And he asked, what's something you would never change your mind about, and what would happen if you did?
This one is I find it a hard question, maybe because I'm thinking too deep into it. But I'm probably going to go back to the regular theme of the ocean. Something I believe is like, I kind of always need to be near the ocean, because it's kind of that healing, restorative place. And if I didn't believe that, and I lived somewhere that was not close to a body of water, I think that would probably actually be beneficial for me, like having a new perspective, appreciate something else a bit more. And that's kind of why I like coming to Jindabyne. It's the polar opposite of the ocean. It's like this calm, tranquil sound. Well, there's no sound really. When you're in the hills, it's literally nothing.
That's my favourite thing about it too.
Yeah, whereas when you're at the beach, it's just this loud, constant crashing of waves, and it's there's a lot of energy going around. Whereas here's a bit different, and I do find my personality and just my energy levels do change when I come here. I'm a little bit more laid back, slower like pace of life. So maybe if I changed my view entirely on that, I would be a different person. Maybe I would become a wise old man and walk the hills for the rest of my life.
There you go. And to finish us off, you've got to leave a question for the next guest. Throw it out into the ether. Could be anyone.
Probably just do a simple one, but what's your favourite quote or saying?
I thought you were going to say, what's your favourite colour again?
Yeah. Also, what's your favourite colour? And no, what's your favourite quote or saying? Could be from a book or a movie or something your family says, like an Aussie saying or a culturally significant saying to your country.
Yeah.
And I'll share my one.
Okay.
It's from Mark Twain, and it's be yourself because everybody else is taken. I like that one.
Be yourself because everybody else is taken.
Yeah.
True.
I like that one.
That brings us to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming on to the show today. It's been good. I really enjoyed hearing your story about the snake bite. I'm glad that we waited to do that in this format.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Shaper Shed has a lot of potential.
Yeah,
I really think that once you get some school programs going through it, especially down the mental health, mindfulness kind of route, which I think is very big these days, I reckon that's going to be really good for everyone that comes through it. And the amazing part is that you'll be inspiring people to not only have a project, pay attention for a long period of time, but also just to be together, and then they have something to take out to the ocean so they can learn about the love for the nature in the sea. And I think to share that with people is probably one of the most important things.
Exactly.
But thanks for all your time. Thanks for pushing through the sickness.
No, it's all good. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad we did it because it's nice that we we had time. We didn't have to rush.
No, it was very nice. It's very relaxed as well now. So
brilliant. So thanks to all of our listeners for coming along today to hear Todd's journey being attacked by a brown snake and his project in the shape of shed and all of his philosophy and wisdom that he shared with us. If you want to reach out or get a surfboard made, or you're interested in getting a group of kids or people anyway involved in the Shape Shed program, please go and check out the Shape Shed online, and hopefully, some people get in touch with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
Brilliant.
beautiful stuff.
And that brings us to the end of a truly inspiring conversation with Todd. From his incredible snakebite survival story to the mindful artistry of the Shaper Shed, his journey is a testament to resilience, connection, and the transformative power of nature. We're so grateful for his wisdom on investing in people, finding calm in nature, and the sheer joy of riding a board you've crafted yourself. If you're interested in getting a board made or involving a youth group in the Shaper Shed program, then please check out theshapershed.com or their Instagram @theshapershed. Thank you for joining us on Between Views. If you're listening and haven't yet, drop us 5 stars on your platform of choice. Keep up with us on Instagram and join us soon as we share more incredible stories between views.